just again for the details, you can ask Mariana. And in the other under presentation. And these varieties are less stable, and there is a much more chance to get the unwanted crossing. So in these kind of plants for seed saving, we do need some isolation, some special things how to protect them to get pollinated by other varieties. And what could I recommend? It's only to grow only one variety per garden of these kind of crops. The way how the pollen is transferred is the second things we should consider. Is the wind pollination. It's for beets and spinach and corn. In this kind of way of pollination, it's really difficult to protect the cross pollination, because the pollen can be transported by wind for the long distance. For corns, it could be up to 5 kilometers. So it's really complicated to protect them. Even we do protect them, I don't know, the different varieties by, I don't know, a building or really long distance, or we just need to accept that there should be some cross-pollination happened in our field. The pollination by insect or bees, it happens in cucumbers, courgettes, pumpkin family, the whole, also cabbage leeks and some others. Here the isolation it's simpler, and we just need to prevent the bees to travel from one variety to other. Just as I said, it's more difficult if you have the bees in the garden, if you are a beekeeper. But if you are not, it's simpler. But you need to be aware of this. And for pumpkin families, what you can do, it's a hand pollination. It's also the technique you can learn. It's a bit. I wouldn't say it complicated, but it takes some time and some skills from you. So maybe you could learn for Mariana and so on. But it's the effective way how to protect I don't know, pumpkin against the cross pollination. And at the least, you need to consider if the plant is annual or biennial. So annual, it's peas, beans, tomatoes, spinach, radish. And biennial plants are plants that will give you the seeds in the second year. So you need to find out the way how to keep them during the winter. You know, the carrots, it's better to take them out from the ground to choose the really nice ones and healthy ones, and then to store them in somewhere in your house, in your I don't know, we put them in the fridge. But if you have lots of them, you have to find out some other ways. And next year you will plant the carrots, and then let them grow to flowers, and then at the end of the season you will get the seeds. So it takes much more time, and it's a little bit complicated. So let's test our knowledge. Based on these knowledges, what crop you should choose to start the seed saving? What do you think? Or what would you choose by yourself if you will start seed saving? Beans, yes, good choice. Tomatoes, yes. Tomatoes, beans, and peas. That's Diana. Yes. Yeah, actually, you had right. It's on the basis what I did say. It's we have to say that we will choose the annual plant. It's much more simpler. That we don't need to stock them somewhere and take a place, special place for stocking them. And self-pollinated plants are really easy because there is a lower risk of cross-pollination, and we will choose the something we are able to grow. Which is easy to grow. Here there is a peas, because peas is very easy also for kids. So we can try to save seeds with kids also. So if I can sum it up, we should start with peas, beans, lettuce, tomatoes. In the some condition, we can use also the paprikas, because paprika we need to protect them because there could be some cross pollination, mainly in the paprikas which are spicy, because they are often more ready to cross pollinate. But paprika is also the one. And what should you know, and how not to step aside? What mistakes you should avoid to do? It's that we are not recommending to start to save seeds from hybrids or F1 varieties because you know, it's a complicated thing. I don't want to go in the details, but simply said, it's their offspring won't be uniform, so we don't get the same quality of fruits, plants, and so on in the next years and next generations. So this is something we don't saving seeds. We don't these kind of seeds we are using to save the seeds in our gardens. These things, it's something I didn't find the term for it in English, but maybe you have it in your language. I don't know. It's the kind of plants that are start to bloom too early. To explain it, that maybe you have the carrot who start to bloom in the first year, or lettuce who start to bloom without growing the lettuce, you know. And it could happen. But in this way, if it happened, we take these plants and we throw it away, because these kind of plants are for nothing, and we never save the seeds from them. And also, as I mentioned, the pumpkin family, we call it Cucurbitaceae. It's sometimes the people I here in Czech Republic, often it happens that they think that if they can get seeds very simple from the pumpkin, and the seeds are big, and you know, it's easy to take them out, they think it's the right way to start the seed savings. But they don't take in mind what I just explaining to you, that this kind of family, it's outcrossing, so they are the pollen is traveling between two plants, and it's very open to for the cross pollination between two varieties, and the pollen is transported by insect. So it's if you are growing the different varieties from the same species, so then it's a high possibility that you will get some non-pollinating crossing between these varieties. So be aware of that, because if you really have to had the good seeds, I don't know, from pumpkin for courgette, you need to grow only one variety at the same time. It's a better, or you have to use some isolation, or use some hand pollination. So we are at the end, and I was just in the few images. I want to present you Semínkovna, which is our Czech seed libraries network, and it was established in in few years ago, just, and it was established to promote free seed sharing and home seed saving and natural gardening. you know, you can see some examples. You know, this is the seed library in the kindergarten, seed library in the libraries. So there is many, and there are some. This one, it's called Knihbudka. It's a kind of seed library in the box of books somewhere that people are sharing not only seeds but also the books. So there are many ways how can you do it. So it's for 8 years already in Czech Republic, and there is more than 200 places around the whole country, and few of them are in Slovakia, and I hope that soon that will be some in Moldova too. And this kind of activity are coming from US and Canada, and then it move to Europe, and we have it in Europe, in France, and in other countries. Yeah, so I'm happy that Gradina Moldovei will helping to create the next another generation of seed libraries in Moldova. So if you want to keep contact with me, so there is some contact of me, seminkovnikom. It's not it's our website. If you would like to find some information about seed libraries in Czech Republic, and there is a time for some questions if you have, and that's all from my side. So is there some question? Is there somebody who wants to ask something about this topic?
Somebody is writing. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you.
If you can tell us a little bit more about the previous slide with the seed collections, or how did you call them before this? This also, but before this, the Seminkovna. You
about the seed libraries.
This one?
Yes. You went a little fast through this, and I didn't really understand.
Okay. Sorry. So do you want me to what? Yeah. What made me start?
Tell us more about these pictures. Like that would be helpful. So you have a.
Okay. We will have the special training about seed libraries. I just want to mention that I will be talking only about seed libraries. Just what made me to start? So as I told you that I was living in France for a year, and I'm studied before I studied botany. I was passionate about plants. And once we were in France, I was visited different events about plants and about I don't know, gardening and so on, because it was my interest, and I was writing down the blog about it. And once we came to the opening of seed library, or it wasn't opening, but it was some event about around seed libraries. In Lille when we were living, and I found out that it's very, very interesting topic, because as we came there, and I was thinking that we get some free seeds, so it was nice to have, but I found out the many other reasons why do they do it, and for me it was something that even though I was the botanist, I studied botany, I wasn't aware about the situation around seeds. And it makes me think that it's so important. The seeds are really basics for our food, and we are not aware of this. We are living in the world when we thinking that the food are growing in the supermarkets. So it's for me, it was really disturbing to find out the situation about seed market and seed situation and the biodiversity disappearing. And as I was the young mother of two little kids at that time, I get really scared. You know, I have a big it was big fear for me and for the future of my kids, and that's why I was thinking what I could do, and I find out that seed libraries are really simple. That anybody can start the seed library. It's simple to spread it, and at the same time it brings these information. You know, I came there just to get the free seeds, and I left with the information, the package of information about the situation of seeds market and loss of biodiversity, of everything of this. And I got scared, and I got so much scared that I was ready to spread the information about this to others. And I think it's really important to spread this information, but because what they said, that the power of us is that we get informed, and once we get informed about the situation, we are empowered to do something, to try to change something, to not to let the other people decide for us something which is really important. And for me, what is important to spread this information, to spread the knowledges, and spread the awareness about importance of seeds, loss of biodiversity, and also the situation on the seed market, which is also not good. So for me, this is my story of why I started it. And this, as I said, this is some examples of our seed libraries in Czech Republic. How does it look like? This is the seed library of kids in the kindergarten. You know, it's a kindergarten in Prague, and they have this kind of box on the which is accessible from the street, and the kids put there inside the seed packages and spread it to the others in the city. And this others are in the other cities, not in Prague. And you know, as you can see, there is lots of packages, and they share it mostly in the libraries, but also there are many ways how to start it. As I mentioned here, there is a this is the box when the people are sharing the books, also not only seeds but also the books. So, and it is you know, in the street. So you just need to find a way how to protect the seeds against moisture, but you can share the seeds like this also. You know, it exists not the whole year, but during the season. And you know, there is so many ways, and every people are doing it a little bit different, as you can see. So it's like that.
Klara, dacă aș putea...
Clara, if I can, I would like to provide an example about children. When we had a possibility to visit Klara and Jana in the Czech Republic, and we visited the kindergarten that has a Seminkovna library, a seed library, and we got inspired by the fact that the educational part is linked to the practical part, where children learn about mellifera plants that are important for bees or honey bearing, and they study a whole cycle. They collect the seeds, the children learn which plants are good for bees, and then they collected seeds from these plants, they planted the seeds, they grew plants, and then they saved the seeds and packed them. And they provided several packs of such seeds that were developed or saved or collected and packed by children. Indeed, the world of seeds is very interesting, and there are many possibilities to be creative. We just need to be creative and do something with the children in order to launch such initiative. In fact, Klara inspired us with regard to children when she told us that she organizes activities in collaboration with her community. they come to children of preschool age, if I'm not wrong, and they also compose dances and songs. And children, they are very much inspired in such activities, which seems to be a game, but an educational game. But for us, it is a seed. It's seed that is planted and then germinates for something good in the future. If there are no questions, urgent questions, I would like, we still have 5 minutes, and our interpreters worked hard because botanics is not so easy, and it required some preparation and some information and terminology. That's why I'd like to thank our translators, our interpreters, who helped us communicate and understand each other in English and Romanian. Thank you very much. I'd also like to ask Lord Klara for the fantastic presentation that we prepared and discussed together. And we viewed it in the way it was provided. And thank you, Klara, for conveying the information. Thank you, dear participants, for staying with us almost up to the end, which is inspiring as well. So, which says that our goal has been achieved in showing that the plant and seed world is interesting and funny. And I'd like to reiterate and reinforce my message. The seminars will continue within this project, also together with Klara and with others. We will try to rediscover this seed world further on. And now, should you have any other questions, you will have a few minutes to still do it. If not, tomorrow we will launch the registration for the following activities under our project. By the way, we've written 2 articles, one on the web page of Grădina Moldovei about seed libraries, about problem of seeds, both issued in Romanian and English. But we also have another article, and if you want to find out more about Klara, because Klara won a very interesting competition about entrepreneur women on the topic of seeds, and also there is an article about Klara, and you can see the addresses of the web pages, and if not, here are the contacts, her contacts. Thank you very much. And yes, we can, all the participants will receive the links for the articles by email, so you can have access to them. Thanks a lot, Klara. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation, and it was a pleasure to be here and to talk to nice people and to cooperate with me. It was nice. Thank you very much.
Mulțumim mult și o seară.
Thank you, and may you have a nice evening. We still have some time to take a good rest before starting a new work week. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.